Shalom, Kol Holo Yahweh, Bahashem, Shai, Bahashem, Raha HaKadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. My name is Barad Debal, coming to you from the GMS campus, Indianapolis. And to all those listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom, especially to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians that make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Today, uh, just came across this video. I just had a couple scriptures in mind. I'm not going to play it, but I'm going to speak on it. And pretty much the main point of it is not like other men. And you'll get what I'm talking about when I get full of the scripture. But not like other men. And so it shows in this, it says this was 4 days ago. Oklahoma teen avoids prison time despite multiple, as you see, convictions. Now, let's go ahead and get the scripture, and then I'll touch on a few points. I'll probably scroll through, and then we'll end. This is the book of Ecclesiastes. No, excuse me, the book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 5. And let's see if I can get the full. Well, we'll just get to this point. It says, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men." Now, this is on what I would say on a low level, okay? Because again, this is a teen, so-called um, so-called white man, and he was convicted of 11 counts. As you can see, it was 11 counts, several dealing with that was on the front screen, um, and then on top of that, look, it says his name, Jesse Butler sentencing. So they wanted to give him 78 years in prison, but instead he's going to receive 150 hours of community service. At his high school, he had pretty much strangled, had two teen girls, 16 years old, and at two separate occasions he strangled them, and he actually, from what she was saying on this video, uh, pretty much put the fear in them that if they told, that he would kill, unalive their families. Uh, he also had did, other different acts as well to these girls. Here are the accounts, right? Protective. Pause. Pause. I have to say that there. It says charged against Jesse Butler, 2 counts of attempted, 3 counts of by instrumentation. So, like she mentioned, you can kind of get it there. I'm not gonna go into deep. You see the video here. You can look it up. But it says 1 count, of sexual battery, 1 count forcible. You see that? 2 counts of and 1 count, equaling up to 11 counts. Okay, and I actually was scrolling through and and I don't know how I came across it, but they actually showed an image of him. But you could actually, pull up the information. I just wanted to touch on this really quick. And this is on a lower level. So think of how much more they're not in trouble as other men, um, or they're not like other men. But just think how much more on an elite level. Okay, when everybody's talking about this Jeffrey Epstein. Just actually came across another video where it was a prime minister um, who actually um, who was not necessarily named, but may have been involved in an act just as gruesome as this on a lady. I guess it happened several years ago and could have very well been on a list such as how I mentioned before. And so, with all of these things happening, of course, you got all these other distractions, but this stuff is still happening on the highest level and on the lowest level. And a lot of these are men, um, and some of these Edomite women are getting away with a lot of these things, but mainly we're dealing with the elites um, as we speak. Let's get this other scripture. This is the book of This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11 and 13. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. When you actually look up and just take some time, and you can look up um, like serial R's, serial K's, um, and you'll find that, and look at the faces of many of those perpetrators, and you'll see who's the real criminal crook of the world. It actually, those who actually have been the top pedo, you look at those, that who have dealt with animals in such acts as such as um, this young boy or has done to these girls. Um, and you'll see there is a higher influx of a nation who actually, what we find, this word project. Okay, they call the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American men savages. They call them evil. They call them criminals and crooks. That's when you look up project. All the things in which they're doing. These are the things that they're actually into. And then it's easy to point the blame, and it's easy to set a narrative or a tone in the world when you have actually access to all the media. So when it comes down to movies, television, music, you could actually, and you got the money and means to actually portray through your media, um, to put out a narrative that's completely false. This is why earlier, I came across a video, and of course, if you understand the men of GMS, we talk about how these people, um, and the elites, are the workers of Satan. They are the devil, which actually deals with deceiver and accuser. Okay, accuser of the brethren, and of course they're coming down with wrath because they're being found out, and part of their instrument, their blessing, is the sword. So of course, when they are completely found out and when they're completely exposed, they're going to go to their next best thing. When the deceit doesn't work, the next best thing will be to come down with this sword and cause harm. And of course, you see things are being set up with the ISIS and with Trump and the military and things of that nature. So, again, because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So they continue on, like I mentioned before, those that are serial R's and K's, they continue on and on and on until they be found. There's a movie that I seen on Netflix called Woman of the Night. That's or Woman of the Hour. You look at that, that's an example of many of what they do and how they do it. All right. It says though a sinner do evil 100 times, and it is and excuse me, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the most high, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Most High. And there's a scripture in Sirach that talks about how um, it is a marvel, you know, if you sin and you're doing, roughly paraphrasing, it'll be a marvel that you would go unpunished. All right, so how much more, those who are ungodly that have done nothing but wickedness and deceit and receive riches, through injury, throughout the whole entire earth. Okay. Like I said, the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, and 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 of course, the wicked will do wicked things and run the earth wickedly. All right. So I hope that this lesson was edifying, uplifting, exhorting of some sort to elect body, just to be on the lookout, understanding that um, as these things continuously increase, much things are going to be shown. And when the Lord returns, He's going to completely um, eradicate this earth from all the evil that's upon it. So again, I hope this lesson is edifying, uplifting to the like body of true believers. Before I end, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahaha Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. Till next time, all those listening and learning to you, I say, Shalom.